They told you to think positive. They said, visualize what you want, and it'll come. But what if that's only scratching the surface? The truth is, you're not manifesting with your thoughts. You're manifesting with your state, with your vibration. And most people are doing it wrong without even knowing. You can say affirmations all day long, but if your body is tense, your chest is tight, and your nervous system is screaming, "I'm not safe," guess what? That's the signal the universe hears. Not your words, not your vision board, your frequency. This isn't just spiritual fluff, it's physics. Ancient cultures whispered about it in chants and symbols. Today, neuroscience and quantum mechanics are finally catching up. Everything is vibration. Your thoughts, your emotions, even the chair you're sitting on. And when you learn how to tune your frequency, not just think differently, but feel and live differently, reality bends in ways that feel almost magical. In this video, you'll discover why the law of vibration is the root code behind every manifestation method. Why most people stay stuck even while doing everything right. And how to shift your energy so powerfully, your life can't help but respond. If that sounds like something you've been craving, you're in the right place. That chair you're sitting on, it's not as solid as you think. Zoom in far enough, and you'll find atoms dancing in empty space. 99.9999% of what we call matter is actually vibration. Your body, your thoughts, the sound of your voice. It's all waves. Just like a song can move you to tears, or a certain smell can pull you into a memory, reality is tuned like an instrument. And most people are walking around completely out of tune. You've felt it before. The unease around someone who says all the right words, but gives off the wrong energy. That's vibration at work. Or the sudden calm when you walk into a forest. That's not your imagination. It's your frequency syncing with something older and purer than modern noise. You don't need to be psychic to feel vibration. You just need to remember how to pay attention. Think of your emotional states as radio stations. Joy, grief, anxiety, excitement. Each one broadcasts on a different frequency. When you're angry or fearful, you're vibrating low, attracting chaos. But when you're grounded, grateful, and in flow, you magnetize clarity, opportunity, even people on the same wavelength. Changing your state isn't just a mood shift. It's a vibrational pivot that ripples through your reality. And here's the twist. This isn't new age fluff. Ancient traditions knew this long before science gave it a name. Across continents and centuries, spiritual systems describe the vibrational nature of life using symbols, chants, and geometry. But how did they all know the same truth before they could possibly have shared it? That's where we're headed next. Long before microscopes and quantum equations, ancient mystics already spoke of a vibrating universe. The Vedas described Nada Brahma, sound as the fabric of reality. Egyptian priests used resonant chambers in temples to alter states of consciousness. Indigenous tribes danced and drummed to align with nature's pulse. They weren't guessing. They were decoding what they felt directly through experience. While the modern world calls it quantum, they called it sacred. Fast forward to now. Quantum physicists confirm what the ancients intuited. Particles don't exist in fixed states. They exist as probabilities, shifting with observation and vibration. It's not magic, it's mechanics. And the observer, that's you. Your vibration influences how matter behaves around you. Nikola Tesla said, "If you want to understand the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration." He wasn't theorizing. He was pointing to a hidden user manual. It's eerie how often these worlds overlap. The flower of life symbol, found in temples from Egypt to China, encodes the same geometries that govern wave interference and quantum fields. Cymatics, the study of visible sound, reveals ancient shapes appearing in modern science labs. Coincidence? or proof that ancient intuition and modern measurement are simply two ways of reading the same code. And if that's true, then it means you're not just a passive receiver of reality. You're a broadcaster. A living, breathing tuning fork. The frequency you emit sets the filter through which you experience the world. But how exactly does your personal vibration shape the reality you see? Let's break that open. Reality isn't happening to you. It's happening through you. Imagine your mind and body like a radio. You can only hear the station you're tuned into. Same goes for life. If your internal frequency is stuck on anxiety, you'll pick up thoughts, people, and events that mirror that signal. Not as punishment, but as resonance. The world doesn't respond to what you want. It responds to what you are. Here's where most people miss the mark. They focus on changing the external, not realizing the filter is internal. You can move cities, switch careers, start new relationships. But if you carry the same vibration, you'll recreate the same loops. It's not the job or the partner or the city that's cursed. It's the frequency you're unconsciously broadcasting. That's why self-awareness isn't a trend. It's a survival tool. Think about it like wearing colored glasses. If you're tuned to fear, everything you see looks threatening. If you're tuned to abundance, you'll start noticing doors where others see walls. It's the same street, same world, but completely different experience. Changing your frequency doesn't require you to fake it. It requires you to feel it, embody it, become it. That's the bridge between concept and transformation. So how do you get off the static-filled channel and actually shift the station? Why do some people struggle for years with affirmations and vision boards, and nothing sticks? Maybe the law of attraction isn't broken. Maybe it's just being misunderstood at a fundamental level. Let's talk about that. Here's the truth. Most spiritual influencers won't tell you. The law of attraction isn't broken, but your understanding of it probably is. People spend months repeating affirmations, visualizing dream lives, and scripting journal entries, only to end up frustrated, stuck, and even more doubtful. Why? Because you don't attract what you say, you attract what you vibrate. And that's a whole different game. Vibration is not a thought. It's not a mantra. It's not even a feeling you can force. It's a state of being. Someone can say, "I am abundant" 1,000 times a day. But if their nervous system is in survival mode, their frequency screams lack. The universe doesn't listen to words. It listens to coherence, to alignment. And that's why wishful thinking without inner regulation leads nowhere. Take the example of someone who's always broke but obsessed with manifesting money. They might follow all the rules, vision boards, crystals, full moon rituals. But deep down, they don't believe they're worthy. They feel guilt, fear, resistance. That's the frequency being broadcasted, no matter how pretty the rituals look. And guess what? That's the reality they keep tuning into. So what actually works? How do you flip the script from forced attraction to effortless alignment? The answer isn't in doing more. It's in becoming different. But that shift doesn't start in the mind. It begins in the body, in the nervous system, in the breath. And that's exactly where we're going next. You can't think your way into a new reality. That's the trap. People believe if they just think more positive thoughts, everything will shift. But vibration doesn't live in your thoughts. It lives in your nervous system, in your breath, in how your body responds when no one's watching. You can say, "I'm safe" all day, but if your shoulders are tight and your jaw is clenched, your frequency tells another story. This is why vibration isn't about affirmations. It's about coherence between what you say, what you feel, and what your body believes. A calm presence radiates more power than 1,000 forced intentions. Think about someone who walks into a room and you instantly feel their peace, their groundedness. That's vibration. It's silent, but it speaks louder than words ever could. So how do you shift your state? Start small, slow your breath. Walk barefoot on the earth. Move your body like it's your temple. not your enemy. Eat foods that are alive. Speak kindly to yourself, not as a hack, but as a new baseline. These aren't just spiritual clichés. They're frequency recalibrators, tools for tuning your field, not fixing your mind. Once you stop trying to think your way into transformation and instead embody it, the game changes. Your vibration becomes magnetic. And at that point, attraction isn't something you chase. It becomes inevitable. But what happens when your frequency becomes so coherent that it starts bending reality around you? Changing your frequency isn't about thinking differently, it's about feeling differently. Thought sets direction, but feeling sets frequency. You can repeat 1,000 affirmations, but if your body is anchored in fear, doubt, or lack, nothing changes. Your emotions are the tuning fork of your reality. As Neville Goddard said, "Feeling is the secret," and he meant it, quite literally. You don't manifest what you want. You manifest what you are, and what you are is what you feel. Want to shift your vibration? Start by shifting how it feels to be you. That could mean pausing to breathe until you feel calm, not just say you are. Or listening to a piece of music that cracks your heart open just enough to let something real flow through. The frequency changes when your state does, not your slogans. Breath is the first dial. Slow, intentional breathing shifts your entire field within seconds. Want proof? Breathe in for 4 counts, out for 6, and feel how your body softens. That's your baseline moving. Nature is another dial. Walking under trees, touching water, even watching clouds pass can recalibrate your nervous system faster than a dozen podcasts. These are not luxuries. They're tools of energetic mastery. Sound is ancient medicine. Frequencies like 432 Hz or 528 Hz can quite literally repattern your brain and heart. Movement matters too. Dancing, stretching, even shaking your body like animals do after stress. It's how you discharge static and return to flow. And don't underestimate the power of beauty, poetry, music, visual art. They remind your cells of the sacred. So if you want to attract a different life, start by becoming the kind of vessel that would naturally receive it. Alignment isn't forced, it's felt. And when you feel it, truly feel it, reality bends before you even ask. Now imagine what happens when that emotional frequency becomes coherent across every part of your being. When your mind wants one thing, your body fears it, and your emotions resist it. Your signal is scrambled. The universe doesn't respond to words. It responds to coherence. A coherent being is someone whose thoughts, emotions, and actions are aligned, vibrating in unison like a symphony. And that kind of field? It's magnetic. Not metaphorically, literally. Scientists like Joe Dispenza have measured it. Coherence in the heart-brain connection generates a measurable electromagnetic field that extends beyond your body. That field communicates with reality, pulling in experiences that match its signal. It's why calm people often seem lucky, why certain individuals attract opportunities effortlessly. They're not chasing, they're emanating. Think of it like tuning a radio. If you're on 88.3 but want what's on 103.7, no amount of shouting will help. You have to shift the frequency. Coherent people are tuned in to joy, clarity, peace, even power. Their presence affects others. You can feel it in a room before they speak. And coherence isn't perfection, it's congruence. It's being in truth with yourself, even if that truth is messy. Start with the small things. Say what you mean, feel what you feel, act in alignment. Even a few minutes a day of conscious coherence, breath synced with intention, movement aligned with desire, begins to rewire your field. And when your inner state stops contradicting itself, your outer world stops resisting you. But coherence is just the beginning. What happens when you become that frequency, permanently? Most people try to manifest from the surface. They say the words, make the vision board, light the candle. But underneath, They're vibrating scarcity, fear, and self-doubt. Here's the brutal truth. The universe doesn't respond to what you want. It responds to what you are. Your baseline frequency is the blueprint, and it never lies. If you crave love but carry unworthiness, you repel it. If you chase abundance while fearing loss, you block it. The law of vibration doesn't filter intentions. It mirrors your state. You can't trick it with mantras. It reads your nervous system, your breath, your subconscious patterns. That's why personal transformation isn't optional. It's the gateway. You're not here to get a new reality. You're here to become it. Want to attract peace? Become peaceful. In your thoughts, in your sleep, in the way you treat others. Want power? Embody it. In your posture, in your choices, in your silence. When your being shifts, your world does too. Reality bends not to your wishes, but to your frequency. And that's the final twist of the ancient code. You are the signal. You are the transmitter. The world isn't waiting to give you what you want. It's waiting to reflect what you embody. So the question isn't, what do you desire? It's, who are you willing to become? And when you answer that honestly, something remarkable happens. So, what are you really vibrating? Not what you say, not what you post, but what your nervous system whispers at 2 a.m.? That's the truth the universe is responding to. Every second of every day. You've seen now that vibration isn't a concept. It's a command. A living frequency you're broadcasting with every breath, every thought, every feeling. And the best part, you can change it, not tomorrow, not after the next course. Now. So here's the question. Will you keep aligning with the version of you that struggles, waits, hesitates? Or will you finally shift into the frequency of who you're meant to become? The next timeline is already vibrating, and it's waiting for you to meet it halfway. If this message sparked something inside you, don't let it fade. Like this video, share it with someone who needs it, and subscribe to the channel. There's so much more coming that'll help you vibrate at the level of your highest truth. And trust me, you don't want to miss what's next.